Hi, this is Steve. A couple things have occurred to me about my WaterSkeeterFlute that somebody that hasn't played it might want to know. It comes apart, of course. There is a cork in there, that doesn't come out. This is the bird, this is the flue. That's where the air goes. You want to put the bird just barely behind the hole. This is the true sound hole. And then you got to put the mouthpiece in. That aligning it up is important because it's got to match with that. But just to make it easier, I put a notch on the bottom here. You line those two notches and you'll have that right on the airflow part of it too. Anyway, you get the bird right behind that. Now when you go in to buy a flute, a lot of times they'll give you a little piece of surgical tubing like this to put in the mouthpiece, so that you don't have to put your mouth right on the mouthpiece that maybe other people have been blowing on. That, like that, and test it. So when I made my WaterSkeeterFlute, I had the same idea, but the surgical tube just doesn't work in here. So what I've come up with is a piece of straw. It's kind of an oversized straw, but you can insert that in. You don't want to put it straight in, you want to put it a little bit of an angle. That way it blocks any air from escaping back out the mouthpiece when you're blowing in from here rather than here. When you're blowing in directly in the mouthpiece, you cover the whole hole. With a test mouthpiece, you'll need to block it off by just cocking it to the side like that. I have to blow it just a little bit harder with that in. It sounds about the same. I'm way far from an expert flute player, but I've learned a few tricks that might help you if you haven't ever played the flute before. When I'm just blowing on it, making normal sounds, I put my tongue on the floor of my mouth, not down at the base of my teeth, but actually further back and down right on the bottom part of my mouth. And I'm just kind of making an ah or an oh sound. Oh, ah. E. Another trick is if you say the word tuck, 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 and then you're playing the flute and you make that same kind of tongue motion that you do when you say the word tuck, you'll get an effect like this. Another thing that you might try is, instead of tuck, just say two, 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 two. And another one is, I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of fluttering the tongue. I know that sounds pretty terrible, but those are just some things to experiment with when you're playing. Most of the time I just do my ah sound. But here's the tuck. Two. You get those high-pitched squeaks, that's from overblowing. If you're just trying the flute for the first time, there might be a tendency to blow too hard and you get sounds like this. Just breathe out nice and easy, and you'll get a better, cleaner sound. See, I'm not even blowing hard enough that you probably hear it on the camera there. This is blowing hard. This is just how I play the flute. A lot of times, like I said, I'm just making the ah sound when I play, but then I incorporate a little bit of tonguing in it. Not necessarily the tuck or the two, but I don't know, just a little bit tongue to accent a note or make it chirp a little bit. Another thing, when I was just learning to play, I would always play from the bottom up. It was easier for me to hit the bottom note and then just work my way up, one note at a time. And then as I just practiced those little notes, and then I just keep adding notes to it as I went. Until I could play all the notes all the way up. Then as you get practicing a little bit more, you might try lifting 2 or 3 fingers at a time, like this. Anyway, that probably sounds pretty bad, but just showing you some techniques that I've learned. I tell you, I just went to a flute festival over the weekend and heard some really good flute players, and they know how to do a lot of stuff that I can't even begin to do, but those are some of the things that I know how to do anyway. Might help you if you're just a beginner. Regardless whether you're an accomplished flute player or just a beginner, when you feel like you've progressed a little bit and want to show off your skills, I'd love to have you post a video comment showing me some of your flute playing. You can post it just as a comment to the flute number that you bought. So if you type in WaterSkeeter, like this one's number 41. But anyway, I would just make a comment to like WaterSkeeter number 42 or 45, whatever you have. I'd love to hear your playing. There is something else I should cover. It's about this third hole. The Native American style flute is pentatonic. Normally you would only have 5 holes, like this. The reason we make them with 6 is that as you become more accomplished with the flute, it offers a chance for a little bit more diversity in playing. Normally you just play it with this hole always covered. Normally you play it like this. The third hole remains covered throughout the song. But as you gain a little more experience, want to try some different things, try covering the 4th hole and holding it down throughout the whole song, like this. Oh, one of the things that has impressed me about the pentatonic scale is that you can just kind of play whatever just comes to your, I guess I was going to say comes to your mind, but just comes to your fingers. Just play a few notes and you know, use your imagination, see what you come up with. You just make up your own stuff as you go along. Every once in a while you come across a familiar string of notes that might make you want to try to work out a song that's familiar to you. here's the thing about Native American style flute, is if I can learn to play this, anybody can. I promise you, I had no musical success until I picked up a Native American flute and found it relatively easy to play. Like I've said in other videos, it's a good one to be able to play when you're out backpacking, boating, canoeing. I played it in the hot tub this afternoon. You can get it totally wet, as you've seen in my washing skeeter video. It won't hurt it. I hope maybe that this flute leads people into more Native American flute playing, and they will expand their experience, become good flute players, or just like me, just have a lot of fun playing it by yourself. Like I said, I'm not a very good flute player, but I hope that what I've shown you here helps you get started. If you're an accomplished flute player, forgive me for my kind of funny playing, and I hope I've gotten a few of the tips right on how to play. I hope maybe that the video helps people that are just getting started, that they will enjoy playing the Native American style flute. Thanks for listening.